Welcome to our breakdown of some absolutely fascinating source material today. Have you ever stopped and just noticed that the vast majority of truly wealthy people out there, they aren't actually doing glamorous work. They really aren't running those flashy viral startups, and they definitely aren't selling the trendy products everyone's raving about online. Instead, they're doing something kind of mundane. They are doing incredibly boring work, totally under the radar without making a peep, and they are quietly becoming millionaires. Yet, what do most of us do? We chase the shiny stuff. So today we're going to dig into 6 of these unbelievably boring businesses. They look simple on the surface, but they hold the literal blueprint for building serious, lasting wealth.
Okay, let's dive into this because we really need to shatter this massive illusion we all seem to carry around. So on one side of this dynamic, you've got the glamorous businesses. These are the ventures that look absolutely amazing on Instagram, they trend on YouTube, and they're a great party trick to immediately impress your friends. But the actual reality? It's incredibly high competition, constantly chasing these fleeting trends and just sheer exhaustion. You're basically fighting tooth and nail for a tiny slice of a very, very crowded pie. Now flip that around. Look at the boring business. Because there's zero glamour, the competition literally drops off a cliff. Nobody wakes up dreaming of doing these jobs. And that means there's a wide open market for high-necessity services. They don't get you likes on social media, but they quietly generate millions in the bank.
I really want you to let this next point sink in, because it is the absolute foundational rule for everything we're unpacking today. The source material states it perfectly. Money goes where work is necessary, not where it is interesting. Think about that. There is this completely inverse relationship between how fascinating a business looks from the outside and how profitable it actually is on the inside. Like, where there's glamour, there are crowds. And where everyone goes, well, profit margins shrink, right? But the stuff that is absolutely vital for society to function, the things people literally have to pay for, those are almost never interesting. Just remember this: money flows toward necessity.
Part 1. Everyday essential services. Solving unavoidable daily problems.
Let's break this down, because it perfectly illustrates how these businesses take a never-ending problem and pair it with a super automated solution. First up, we've got laundry services. Sounds incredibly ordinary, right? But think about it. Every city is absolutely packed with thousands of busy professionals who just don't have the time to wash their own clothes. A reliable laundry service that actually delivers on time? That builds a loyal customer base coming back week after week. It's massive recurring revenue. Second is the clean water supply business. Now, selling water might sound terribly boring, but the demand for safe drinking water in homes, offices, and restaurants is always going up. And once you get that filtration and delivery system set up, the whole thing practically runs itself. It goes from being just a business to an automated, income-generating asset. Which leads us to the third essential service, and this one is surprisingly simple.
Now, what's really interesting about this third business is just how beautifully simple it actually is. You might even laugh at first. But in major cities, parking is a severe, constantly escalating crisis. If you have an empty plot of land or some suitable space, turning it into a parking area requires almost zero investment, like none. You aren't manufacturing a product, you don't need a huge team, you literally just need the space and some basic management. You are essentially renting out geometry. It is a hidden gold mine, and for sure the absolute perfect example of the power of a boring business.
Part 2. Overlooked wealth generators. The messy jobs nobody wants to do.
Take a look at businesses 4 and 5 from our source material: pest control and scrap collection. Let's start with pest control. Whether it's bugs in a residential home, rats in a commercial shop, or roaches in some corporate office, these problems literally never end. Pests are they're a permanent fixture of human existence. And because the demand is permanent, the revenue is permanent. All it takes is a properly trained team and a surprisingly low initial investment. Next up is scrap and waste collection. Honestly, this might be the most ignored business sector on the planet. People and corporations are just constantly throwing things away: paper, iron, plastic, e-waste, you name it. By collecting this completely ignored supply of waste and reselling it, you are profiting off an endless stream of materials. The supply never stops because, well, waste generation never stops. Sure, it's not glamorous to deal with garbage and bugs, but the profit margins? They are spectacularly high.
But out of all the things we've covered so far, I really want to call special attention to business number 6. The source material specifically highlighted this one as a literal silent millionaire maker. It is operating quietly in your city right now, generating incredible amounts of wealth for the people who actually figured it out.
That business is the storage space business. Think about the fundamental reality of modern life. People's belongings are constantly increasing, while the actual physical size of homes and apartments is shrinking. We all just have way too much stuff and nowhere to put it. Businesses constantly need space to hold extra inventory. College students need secure storage during their breaks. Families need places to put all their seasonal junk. If you've got an empty warehouse, an unused room, or just extra real estate, renting it out as storage is the ultimate form of passive income. It doesn't require any specialized skills to run, and the absolute best part, it operates day and night. It's turning unused, empty air into an asset that works for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Part 3. The true formula for wealth. Why boring always wins.
So, the crucial point is this. What is the common thread running through laundry services, scrap collection, parking lots, and storage spaces? Well, it comes down to a really fundamental truth. None of these businesses require you to be the next Steve Jobs. There are zero new inventions here. They aren't trying to disrupt an industry or chase the latest wild tech trend. They do exactly one thing. They perform a highly necessary, entirely unglamorous job, and they just do it consistently well. That is their superpower. While everyone else is burning out trying to invent the future, these businesses are steadily cashing checks just by solving the boring problems of the present.
And this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate, unvarnished traits of actual wealth building. It's basically a 3-step process. Step 1, consistency. Just showing up every single day to do the boring work that everyone else refuses to do. Step 2, silence. Building your empire quietly without needing the constant validation of social media or the applause of your peers. And step 3, patience. Understanding that true wealth, it isn't some sensational overnight event. It's a slow, steady, inevitable accumulation. The people who grasp these 3 steps are the ones who quietly achieve absolute financial freedom, all while the rest of the world is completely distracted by the noise.
So I want to invite you to step away from the flashy trends today. Try adopting this grounded, actionable mindset. Just look around and think about the boring problems hiding in plain sight in your own city, because right behind those boring problems, quiet wealth is waiting to be built. Which leaves us with one final provocative question straight from our source material. Out of these 6 businesses, which one do you think is the absolute most powerful?